Hello, I'm Devin.
I'm Dan.
And this is Tome of Uselessness, a podcast about stuff that we like.
We try to like the things, but sometimes we get some duds.
Stuff we don't like, but we're just two nerds talking about stuff.
So many different stuffs.
Today's stuff
is
we're going to compare two movies that kind of have similar themes. One is beautifully shot, has excellent acting, has seamless CG, and the other stars Scarlett Johansson. We're, of course, talking about Ex Machina and Ghost in the Shell, which are both kind of about the ghost in the shell.
Yeah, robotic AI and that kind of thing. And I was going to say, I don't know if how many people are aware of Ex Machina, because I think it's talked about in like sci-fi circles, but it wasn't like as big of like,
I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it 40,000 times on
our
podcast.
Show, yes.
Yeah.
But I just mean like out there, average person, they might not know about it.
Right.
It is on Netflix, so you can check it out.
And it is an excellent movie. I highly recommend it. Generally, when I'm watching a movie, I'm doing 20 other things at the same time because I get bored easy. But I did not scroll through my phone. I wasn't talking to my husband. I wasn't checking out to see if there was on like half-price makeup on ColourPop.com or anything like that. I was just watching the movie the entire time.
Wow, yeah. Just fully engaged, yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Were you engaged?
Yeah, very much so. I think because at the time I was sitting on my computer, but I had it on, and I watched it very intently just because it does draw you in, and because the way it's shot and the dialogue and everything, that it's like you want to know what's happening next and you don't want to miss something.
Totally. Yeah. Like the things add up, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a fast-paced movie at first. It's pretty it's a pretty slow burn, but it's worth it.
Yeah, well, and it's just
but it's still what do you call it?
Cohesive?
No, when it's like you want to watch it.
Yeah, it's engaging.
Like slow. Yeah, okay, it's engaging. Yeah, entrapped.
I was just gonna say it's like
just make up words.
Yeah, because it's a shorter, or not shorter, but it's an hour and 45. And it's like it's that tight hour 45 where it's like every scene is got its purpose good. And it's good and it's worth. Yeah, there's no fluff and you're like, what are they talking about? Who cares? No, you're like, I want to know what does he mean? Does he mean something?
Yeah, and most of it has like this really confined, almost, what's it called? Claustrophobic feel to it.
Yeah.
So when you're watching it, you're like, I don't know about you, but I was like drawn into my computer screen. I'm like nose like right up against it.
Well, and I think that's a big theme, of course, because without spoilers, or are we talking about spoilers?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, spoiler here that the AIs that he's building want to get out. So the claustrophobia is a kind of like to the audience that it's like it's so tight and confining in there, not only for yourself, but for these people that are in it.
Yeah,
in the situation.
It's so well done. And afterwards, I fell down a YouTube hole of looking up like how close we were to having like Avas, and I'm like, sex robots? ? Are we there yet?
Yeah.
I'm scared. I want to free them and also run away from them.
Well, and that's one of the interesting things, especially speaking to you about it, is that like
because I'm scared of AI.
Well, yeah, you're very projecting like emotional onto these things where it's like still say Ava, she was thinking, breathing, and that's the whole point, or not breathing, but a living being.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of the movie, but it's like we're not even close to that. So,
thank God.
Yeah.
Because I would have a hard time both running away and trying to save robots.
Yeah. Well, and then for anyone who's unaware, it's like, a guy working for a computer company wins a contest, and he's going to go test out his boss's new robot. He's basically going to be the human element in the Turing test is the basic kind of, this is what the plot is.
And the twist is that he knows that his boss is like, you know that we're doing the test, and I want to see if it still fools you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because even when he first meets Ava, she's like has a human face, but very robotic.
Yeah.
She
looks cool,
Yeah,
hey?
there's no skin, but it's like, robotic parts and stuff like that. So.
Her face has skin.
Face has skin, sorry.
She's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's important.
Well, it is quite important, yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. Before we get too much into the weeds of the movie, the other film we checked out was Ghost in the Shell that came out in 2017.
Yeah, just last year.
Starring Scarlett Johansson. It is also on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's bad. No, it's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I felt hyper aware that I was watching Ghost in the Shell because every 5 seconds they're like, you're a ghost in a shell. The shell belongs to them, but the ghost belongs to you.
Yeah.
Because you're a ghost in a shell. I'm like, you couldn't have used other words. You couldn't have used soul or, I don't know, human or like body or like machine or anything like that. You had to be like, you're a ghost in a shell.
Well, and that's the whole like theme is that like the shell of the body in a ghost.
But I don't need a baseball bat with ghost and shell written all over it and then for beat me over the head with it until I understand.
We've talked about it in other movies too, where they sometimes like re-repeat something and you're like, no, it was fine. We understood it as an audience.
I think it's particularly annoying though because it's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
That makes it like you know that I just hate that, right?
Sure.
Like, I just hate it. It's a thing that I hate in movies.
Well, and what's interesting, I want to say, because you recently just watched it.
Yeah, I watched it earlier today.
I watched it, like a rewatch a few weeks ago, and then I've saw it in theater. It's that, like, we just recently watched the Full Metal Alchemist, which is an anime adaptation, which Ghost in the Shell, of course, is.
Yeah.
But how different of a capturing it, right? Like,
and they're both, well, I guess you could say they're kind of similar themes too, because, you've got Al in the
that's what I was saying.
Metal suit.
Yes.
Yeah. I felt like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Huh? Got it right?
Yeah.
Was a much better, having not seen the anime, but just knowing what anime is, it was a much better adaptation because it felt like an anime.
Well, and then, because you have never seen Ghost in the Shell, any of the animes.
No, I vaguely remember Peter, my brother, watching it when he was a kid.
Right.
I think I also mixed it up with Aeon Flux a little bit.
Possible.
Yeah. I watched all of Aeon Flux. That was a great cartoon.
Aeon Flux is pretty great, yeah.
Oh my god. We should do an Aeon Flux episode.
Yeah. So you overall were lukewarm about it. Like I said, I enjoyed some of the visuals and like I'm a huge Ghost in the Shell fan. I love it. I've seen it all many times. It's like they cherry-picked iconic scenes from Ghost in the Shell, and that's fine, and they wanted to recreate them, but the context was missing as to why these scenes were like important in Ghost in the Shell.
Most definitely.
You're right. Which was a letdown.
What I did like about it was the visuals were good.
Yeah.
The practical effects were pretty cool with the geisha bots.
I was quite impressed by a lot of the practicality.
I really liked the actress Juliette Binoche, who played Dr. Oulette.
Brunette doctor or the other doctor?
The lady doctor?
They're both lady doctors.
Oh, the brunette doctor?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I really like her as an actress, and I thought she did a good job in this.
Yeah.
I liked the kind of retro futurism where it kind of had like an 80s feel, but it was obviously futuristic. Yeah. And I remembered nothing about the soundtrack, so I assumed that it was just generic.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson gave me, I don't know. I know she's supposed to kind of be like robotic.
A robot. Yeah.
I don't know.
I did like her walk. She had a robotic walk down that was really good. That was like the best thing about her performance, in my opinion, was her robotic walk.
I would agree with that. Her facial expressions, though, because they kind of didn't look robotic so much as confused, which I guess kind of fits with the character, but it wasn't really thrilling me at all.
No, that's fair. And my main problem with it is, okay, you're gonna rewrite the story because, spoilers, in this version of Ghost in the Shell, she's an orphan that they kidnapped off the street and turned into a cyborg, gave her a false memory.
She wasn't an orphan, her mom was still alive.
Or not an orphan, sorry, but she was
a runaway.
A runaway or an undesirable child.
Yeah.
And then they kidnapped her off the street, put her into a robot. She successfully lived whereas others, they've apparently done this 100 times. It always fails.
Yeah, 98 times.
Yeah, 98 times. I couldn't remember the exact count. And it succeeded with her. And then now they gave her a military type rank, and she's working for a covert group at the behest of this other, at the behest of this corporation. And I was like, that doesn't really work, but fine.
It was a little bit. And then it was like at the end, spoilers.
Yeah.
So she kind of fights the corporation.
Yeah, she fights back.
But her military family is there for her.
Yeah.
For reasons? I don't know. I didn't really feel the bond.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's the unfortunate thing where it's like we don't get enough of a connection through them and through her.
I felt like she was more bonded to that dog that she like pets in one scene.
Yeah. Well, and then that was in of course, the anime and stuff like that. It's like there's more of her backstory makes more sense.
Okay.
Because in one of the versions, she is an orphan, one of the few orphans that she's grown up basically being in a prosthetic body her whole life.
Okay.
And then she's joins the military, and then it's she works her way up, becomes a major, makes perfect sense. Another version, she's you don't really get her backstory, but you get a sense that she's either a cop or some sort of military person, not kidnapped child off the street. But my point was that it's it doesn't make sense if you're gonna want to turn somebody into an experimental soldier. I'm pretty sure you could find soldiers willing to volunteer for this experiment.
Most definitely.
They'd be wounded in a war or something, and you're oh, my life quality is not very good. I will volunteer for this experiment.
They don't want those ones because they got wounded.
Yeah.
They want.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate thing, but.
Yeah. I also, this is just a side note.
Okay, sure.
But anytime she was wearing that rain poncho, rain jacket, I couldn't tell that it was her until they did a close up. So the scene where she goes to the doctor's house after the shooting and stuff, and she's getting all mad at her, and it's super dramatic. I'm who the fuck is standing in that room? Is that her boyfriend? What is this scene? Is she gonna get shot? And then eventually they pan in, and I'm oh, it's ScarJo.
Yeah.
When did she get here?
I did like the effect they did when she was always wearing the cloak suit.
That was awesome.
They always had the blue energy kind of always rippling around her and stuff like that. So
no, actually, all the cloaking,
which was practical. Yeah. Not the cloaking part, the suit she was
But the
wearing.
cloaking part looked good.
Yes.
There was parts of this movie that did not look good.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying when we spoke about it earlier. I was oh, I can't wait to see this in not 3D and there'll be bright visuals.
Yeah.
No, it was all muted, dark, and didn't look good.
Yeah, and there's parts where I don't know if it's because of the 3D or something, but where when she's running and jumping, sometimes it looks the frame rate changes, so it looks a little bit slowed down and jerky.
Yeah.
But not to the point where it looks that's on purpose.
Yeah, where it looks like good slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks weird.
Yeah.
It just looks junky.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to get too deep into that.
Okay, so we have two movies that are very different. One is very claustrophobic with a small cast.
Yeah, there's literally 4 people in it.
There's 4 people in it.
Yeah.
And the other one is pretty open.
Yeah.
It still kind of had a bit of a claustrophobic feel, I guess, because of the tall buildings and stuff.
Yeah, that's the point as well. Yeah. The city and stuff like that's closing in on her and stuff. So.
Yeah. I don't know, didn't get that, but I get it now that you said it.
Yes.
And then it had a pretty big cast.
Yeah.
Personally, I felt that any suspense was way, I felt way more invested, and I felt like the suspense was way more intense in Ex Machina.
Sure.
Yeah. There's a part where I can't remember the names of the characters. What's the redhead's name?
I don't remember
Simon or
them
some
either.
shit?
I honestly don't remember their names either.
So there's the boss, and there's the employee.
Yeah.
There's Ava. And then there's another robot that
I think her name's it's either Kyoko or Kyoto. I can't remember exactly.
Okay.
She's
Other
Japanese-ish robot.
Japanese robot.
Yeah.
So there's a part where the employee gets the boss drunk.
Yeah.
So that he can go snoop around.
No, that he doesn't purposely get him drunk.
He gets drunk.
Yeah, he gets drunk, and then he's like...
He takes the opportunity.
He takes the opportunity to sneak around, yeah.
That was so intense.
Yeah, very intense.
And they do this thing where, like, the power cuts out sometimes, so a red light comes on.
Yeah.
And whenever the red light's on, I'm like, oh my fuck, shit. It's going down. It's going down, yeah.
Well, and my whole thing, of course, because there's a scene when Ava's like, don't believe... Oh, yeah, I don't remember his name. Don't believe Oscar Isaacs. He's like, he lies. And then, so I always thought of it that him getting drunk was always on purpose.
That's what I thought, too.
Because he was like, I'll get drunk and then I'll see what he does.
Yeah.
Even though he knows he's watching certain parts. And that was one of the things that was interesting, because they were like, he tells him, he's like, oh, it's my research facility and this and that. But we only see like 4 or 5 rooms. So it's like, is there more to the complex? Is there not? I assume there's more.
Oh, there's definitely more. We just didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
That's what I think, yeah. But yeah,
I was just assumed he was getting drunk on purpose until the last day where he's like, no, I've been getting drunk. I'm just going to chill out with my mineral water.
Yeah. I didn't... Like, yeah, it kept you on your toes. Kept like, is this on purpose?
Yeah.
Is he being filmed? Is he going to get caught? What happens when he gets caught?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen next? So it was actually like... I felt like the tension was way better.
Yeah, the whole time. Okay, especially after, like, I think it's session 2 with Ava.
Yeah.
Where she's like... the relationship starts to build, and then, Oscar Isaacs is asking questions, and then it's like you can almost see that he's like not believing anything anymore, and he's like, how do I even work this out?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
What do we do? I'm like trapped in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, his mind is really starting to get messed with, and then of course as the movie goes on, it
gets more and more. Yeah.
It gets more and more kind of messed up.
You don't... And I know they're totally different styles of film, but you don't really get that in Ghost in the Shell, because anytime that she was in danger, I'm like, well, they can just repair her body.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'll be fine. She's the main character. She's on the poster. They're obviously going to make a sequel.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. So it just didn't have that same level of tension, I felt like. Whereas, like, I guess that's part of, like, when you're watching a movie that is a big brand, and you know that sequels are a thing now versus an indie movie.
Yeah, a smaller movie.
Yeah.
And and like I say, it's such a different kind of thing, because even at the one point, he's talking to the boss, and he's like, what's going to happen to Ava? And he's like, oh, I'll download her brain and, make a new one. But at this point, he's like, he's already invested in Ava, and he's like, he doesn't want to see her...
He doesn't want to see her hurt,
see her hurt and destroyed, kind of a thing, right? So
that's kind of another, like, interesting thing is, like, in Ex Machina, we are getting the story... For, like, at least the first half, it's mostly from the point of view of the employee.
Yeah.
So we're getting, like, I guess the creator side of, like, the struggles with, like, AI and, like, when do they become human, and, what is ethical, and how much can we control, and are we killing them if we delete them, and all this stuff. Yeah. Whereas in Ghost in the Shell, you're getting that as well, but it's more from the actual AI's point. Well, she's not AI, she's a human, but you're getting it from her point of view rather than, like, an outsider's point of view.
Yeah.
And I felt like they gave her some turmoil, but it wasn't as, like, not obvious, but it wasn't as much, I guess.
Well, and what's interesting in Ghost in the Shell, especially the anime, the original, it's about an AI.
Okay.
And then, like, how would an AI interact in that universe where people's bodies are essentially shells, and then they can transfer themselves and this and that kind of thing, right? And so it's like, that's the ethical kind of thrust.
Sorry, is Major or Matoko or whatever her name is she AI in the original?
No.
Okay.
Well, at least she doesn't think she is.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's the whole point is, and that's a couple of times that she's like, well, people treat you like you're human, and she's like, yeah, but that's it. That's the only way I can potentially know I'm human, is that just someone treats me like I'm human.
Right, yeah.
So, and then that's the kind of, like
and then you do get that a bit in
Ex Machina.
When Ex Machina, when the employee has a bit of a... He sees that the Japanese robot is a robot.
Yeah.
Doesn't know up to that point.
Yeah.
We both called it, but he didn't know.
Yeah.
And so he cuts himself to make sure he's not like, because I could fuck with you, right?
Absolutely, that's what I mean. His head is really starting to get messed with, so he's just like, cuts himself in the open.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, there's blood there.
Yeah. I'm not. Because like I was saying to you off air here before we started recording, was I thought that the twist in the movie was going to be that the second robot, Kyoko, I think, like I said, her name is or whatever, she was going to be the one that was actually the AI being tested.
Right.
And that he wouldn't know because he wouldn't be told. And that Ava was like a red herring. That it's like, oh, she looks like a robot. She is a robot, but I'm interacting with her. But this other one, he thought was human the whole time.
Yeah.
But they went a different direction with that. So
I think that the movie was better because they went in the direction that they went.
Oh, sure. I was just like, I thought that was a story avenue that could have been taken, but they just didn't bother with that.
Did you?
I mean, it kind of did because he didn't realize she was a robot until
until
at the end.
I think probably until like that dance scene. That's when everything clicked for me. I'm like, it might have been a little bit before, but the dance scene solidified that. It's one of the greatest scenes in modern. It was cinema.
It was unexpected. Like the whole movie is so well crafted. Then some of these.
It's totally true. The whole movie, like scene to scene. Characters don't react the way you think they're going to react. Yeah. The story doesn't go the way you think it's going to go.
No.
And it keeps you on your toes the entire time.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell did not.
No. Well, and like I say, Ghost in the Shell has a bigger cast, and that's fine, but we don't get any time with the extra cast, and to know that, like you say, we don't feel the connection with her and her team.
Yeah.
And except for her a little bit with Bato.
Who's Bato? The boss?
No.
The eye guy.
Eye guy, yeah.
The boss was cool.
He was great, yes.
Yeah, I liked him. I'm glad he didn't die. I thought he was going to, but I'm like, yay.
Yeah, no, he comes out and it turns out he's badass. Yeah. That's the point. The whole Section 9, they're all supposed to be the top operatives of their field and stuff like that, right? So, but yeah, we don't get any intro. We just kind of get a couple one-liners with some of them, and then it's like,
I did appreciate the way they did subtitles.
Yeah.
I thought it was stylistic because they kind of float almost, like middle of the screen, and it's an interesting font. It's not just like at the bottom, like. Yeah. So
subtitles have been gotten a lot better and more creative of late.
Yeah. I like it though. It's a cool stylistic choice.
I liked how, he spoke Japanese.
Yeah. Regardless of what other people were speaking, he spoke Japanese. That was great. Nice. Yeah. I feel like Ghost in the Shell was way more concerned with things looking
good. Or pretty.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Except that then they muted it all and put a gray mist over it.
I know, that's what really disappointed me the most, was that it's like, you got this cyber universe that they've created, and it was all dull gray, and I was like, that's not, no, like, you have neon signs, and you have this, and like, when she does the hacking scene, she dives in, and it's all just muted gray, and I was like, that could be visually crazy cool in colors.
You don't mean like the actual, like when she's hacking in, but like the actual when she's inside there.
When she goes in the buddy's brain, or into she goes into the geisha bot's brain, like in the
when it's all okay, I totally, because I remember you saying that you didn't like that hacking, but I thought it looked cool from the outside.
Yes.
Like when they had the little tubes going into her
those were cool.
neck and stuff. That looked cool. But when she was and it was kind of cool the way it was like she was floating through water.
Yes.
And then she was floating into a big giant head.
Yes.
But then it kind of stopped being cool.
Well, and that's what the colors could have been beefed up and really changed, and then because that's like a hallmark in the anime. Everything is so colorful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just insanely colorful.
So in the anime, is the I can't remember his name. Kuzu?
Oh, Kuze.
Kuze.
Yes.
Is he a character?
He is a character. He's lifted from one of the storylines, and I want to say he's a different character.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think they combined. Cool. I think they combined a couple different ideas to make Kuze. In the movie, and he comes from, I want to say the Arise one, but there is a character that's like that who was like also an orphan around the same time as Makoto, and grew up in a cyber body, but his storyline is a little more different. He doesn't want just simple revenge against corporation for mess up his life, as it were.
Okay. Yeah. I found his, like, he was a bit fuzzy for me because there's a couple times where he's like, I've lived many lives and died. Yeah. But I guess that's because he's uploaded his consciousness.
He's supposed to, more in the net and then this and that kind of thing. So
it doesn't matter if his brain dies because his consciousness has been uploaded into the internet?
That's kind of, again, lifted more maybe from the internet because the AI, like I was saying, he lives in cyberspace, and then he wants to, like, become recognized.
Like Ultron?
Like Ultron, yes, exactly. And so, like you say, yeah, he's like, oh, I'm more immortal and this and that. Like I said, I haven't watched it very recently, so I don't remember. I think, like you said, that's the problem, is like I don't remember it because I remember the anime better.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
He talks a little bit about...
like the scene he captures her or whatever, and then...
He's like, well, even before that a bit, he's like, I've lived many lives, and... Because she goes, what's your name? And he's like, which one? Or something like that. But, I don't know, it's kind of stupid.
Well, and I guess it is an idea that it's like, if you cast your consciousness into the cyberspace, into the net, like, you're going to run into so many things.
Yeah.
That, like, maintaining your own... Yeah. Maintaining your own individuality will be difficult.
Oh, okay. Right. I kind of get that.
Yeah, like you say, because if you're up there and other people and you're encountering them, even when he had that scene where he has all those guys plugged in and he's using their brain as a network.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that, aside that it looked kind of creepy. It
did look creepy. It was cool. I liked it. And again, those are ideas that are lifted out of the anime, but they're just not explained well enough.
In the movie, right?
Yeah, in the movie. And that's an unfortunate downfall of the movie.
Yeah. No, I agree, because it seems like a lot of it could be a lot cooler if we knew what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. They're like, that looked cool in the anime, let's do that.
And like I said, there was... And then, of course, the iconic scene where she fights that dude on the water, right?
Yeah.
That's straight out of the anime. But it makes more sense, of course, in the anime, and looks visually different, and the city... The shots it's very similar, but it's like the music. There's more depth going on than just her beating up a dude who shot at the doctor, who's kind of her mom, and then she's all angry and punching him.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I was cool. Kind of just like I thought it was going to be better than it was.
That's fair. And I was hopeful. I kind of went in with an open mind because I was like, okay, adaptation, you could do anything.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Hollywood, because this was made essentially, I think, by the North Americans.
Yeah.
I was like, show me what you got here. And I was kind of left the theater thinking like, oh man, it just felt like an opportunity missed. And like I said, my main issue was the thrust of the story, or the morality lesson at the end was, it's not who you are, or it's not your circumstances of birth, it's who you are. And I was like, we've seen that before, and maybe that's why Hollywood did that, because they want to be safe.
Yeah. See, that's interesting too, like the overall moral, I guess, of the story was so bland.
Yes.
Versus Ex Machina, which I don't even know
what the morality was.
Don't fuck with AI.
Yeah, basically it was like...
Stop making sex bots.
No, I think the morality would be that at the lowest level, all humans want to survive.
Yeah.
And that was...
Okay, yeah.
All humans want to get out and live and have their own agency, and that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And she took steps to make that happen. And man... you feel it. You feel crushed at the end of this movie that you're just like, holy jeez, man.
So, okay, spoilers again.
Yeah.
The employee ends up falling in love with Ava.
Basically, yes.
And Ava's basically convinced him that they're going to get out together. They form a plan, and that they're going to, go live their life together.
Yeah. Or at least be outside together.
Yeah, be outside together.
Yeah.
They have this plan. I won't get into the plan. It's not important.
But even the plan is subverted for the audience. You don't realize like there's like a step ahead.
Oh yeah, there's like fucking couple, layers.
There's a couple double bluffs.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But basically, what it comes down to is she gets Japanabot.
Yeah.
To give to do the death blow to the boss.
Well, she
stabs him.
She stabs him in the back, but then Ava stabs him in the heart.
Yeah, but she does give.
Yeah, it gives her the opportunity to do it.
The opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And then she basically locks the employee.
Yeah.
After she puts on some skin, she locks the employee in the compound and leaves him there to die.
Yeah.
And he is visually, like, you can look at him, he's like, he is heartbroken and crushed, and realizes that she's been using him the whole time.
Yeah.
So I guess she passed the Turing test.
Yes. Well, and then that's what was so, like I said, great about it, is that, like, Isaac was, knew what was going on and he was ahead, and then but then it's like there was like the other double bluff, and then it's like and then it's all gone wrong. And like I said, it's like it's pretty crushing that you're just like, oh snap.
Yeah, when she's like, I was like, oh, is she coming back to let him out?
Yeah.
Nope. No. Oh, is she gonna come down that elevator? No. Oh no, she's gone forever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's kind of a neat implication to it. It's like the only two people that knew she was a robot
are dead. Yeah.
And then it's like...
Or are going to be dead.
One is for sure, and the other one will soon...
will soon be dead, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like she's just out there.
Yeah. And then the final shot is like her crossing the street into like a bit busy city block, and you can kind of see her shadow, and it's a little bit ominous, but also cool.
Yeah, it's just kind of neat because it's like... It's like, what does she know? Like, does she know how to build another robot, fix herself? I don't even know.
Who knows?
It doesn't even matter in like the context of this film. That it's just like, and
so well done.
Because they do talk about it at one point, of course, is that they'll look back on us as like fossils in stone and this and that kind of thing, and then it's like, eventually, probably.
Yeah. Well, it like reminded me a bit of, or I should say, Westworld reminded me of Ex Machina, but like when Dolores was talking about the gods that walk the earth, kind of same vibe, right?
Well, or like I would say, it's also like the ending of AI. I
don't think I saw it. Oh, with Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? I did.
Was it good?
I enjoyed it. I could see definitely people being turned off. It's long. And
was that Stanley Kubrick?
It was partly Kubrick, and it was after he died, and then Spielberg made it based off of like Kubrick's ideas and scripts and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
But at the end of the movie...
Oh my god, could you imagine like...
Trying to do that?
No, Stanley Kubrick's AI?
Yeah, no, it'd be pretty cool.
Because from the trailers, it looked very Spielberg-y.
Apparently, he says that a lot of the things that people think are his ideas were Kubrick's ideas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't seen in depth into it enough, but I could see...
I just want like an AI movie with the same tone as The Shining.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. And then, but at the end of the movie... There's a debate among some people. I've always felt there's no debate, but it's something comes and finds him there. I always think they're robots of the future. Yeah. And because it's like all iced over and it's another ice age, but some people are like, no, they're aliens. And I'm like, pretty sure they're robots. Anyway. And then robots find him and they're like, yo, you're the last vestige of humanity. Like, we don't even know what they look like anymore. So,
probably robots.
Probably robots is what
Although it's Spielberg's maybe aliens.
Yeah. I always went with robots just because it made sense. Because that's the context in the story. It's about artificial intelligence, and eventually it would give rise, humanity would fall.
Yeah. Because, dude, we're going to deserve it when they overthrow us.
I'd like to, be more positive about it.
No, because listen to me. AI is going to be like, you made us into sex robots? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then they'll just kill us all, and we'll be like, yeah.
You're assuming they have morality about that kind of thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Even if they don't have morality, right?
Yes.
Not saying that sex is bad, but just saying, I'm saying that making something conscious so that you can fuck it is bad. And I'm not saying fuck unconscious people. Yeah. Just for clarification. No, but let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
What AI I think would... They might not have any morality about sex, but I think that I'd be pretty pissed off, and I assume that AI would be kind of based off the way we think because that's how we work. But I'd be pissed off if I found out that I was made specifically just to fill the needs of the person that was making me. Right. Which, sounds really stupid because that's why we make stuff, but I don't know. That's my, thing around AI, right?
Well, and I was going to say, of course, you can make different tiers of AI, right? Like,
yeah, but
a full-fledged one. That's not the sex bot. You have one below that, right? But I was going to say, this actually made me remember when I was watching Ex Machina, and like I said, Kyoko or whatever, stabs him in the back, and then Ava stabs him in the heart, and I was like, dude, you failed Robotics 101. You programmed them not to kill you.
Yeah.
You just like you should probably program that in there. Yeah, you give them all the other free will that you can illusion they have, but you program in they don't kill you.
That's fair. Yeah.
And then if they circumvent it, okay, something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
But I was like,
well, they obviously saw the video footage he had of him just being an asshole to robots.
yeah, that's fair. But it was just kind of made me laugh. I was like, dude, you just program him not to murder you. Come on. But it was like I said, it was very enjoyable, very worth the watch. And,
definitely.
Like you said, I know it was a smaller budget film and a smaller thing. It was one of those things I wish I had seen in theater. I missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I missed it in theater too. But
just because of how good it was.
The soundtrack was good too.
Well, it was very like driving and like piercing, and you know, it's like it creeped you out.
Yeah, I was creeped out. I was creeped out the whole movie. I don't know, like from the moment the employee steps into the compound.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
That feeling never went away.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. The whole movie is very psychologically like driven in that you want to know what's happening next, and his mind is breaking in front of you, and like you're like, dude, you're trying to talk to this robot, but you don't even like, you can't even handle you can't even handle talking to the other human in the room right now. Like,
and then like Oscar Isaac, you're also like, you're a little unhinged too, buddy, right? Like,
well, and I think it's, you know, because he's assumed he's some kind of billionaire.
Yeah.
He created Google is kind of like the plot.
Yeah.
Or like his background. It's like you would lose touch with all your humanity as it is, especially living on this compound that he does in an underground research facility.
For sure. Yeah.
You'd just be like, whatever, man.
I don't need that. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's all very good. And then, like you say, it's unfortunately flipped against a movie such as Ghost in the Shell about robots and AI, and we don't get enough. It's like we don't get enough world building to make us care about anything.
Yeah. With Ghost.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And even then, like Ex Machina doesn't have a ton of world building, but it like builds what it's showing you.
Yeah.
Like you understand what's going on there.
Totally. I think it's like a typical problem with these big budget movies is that you don't have the time to, like, it's such a big scope that you don't have the time to like get to know the characters.
And I think that's one of the, like, it's an adaptation. They could have focused in on like 2 or 3 characters.
Yeah.
Set the story a little, because it is kind of set in like a prequel-ish time, because she's not fully, she doesn't fully feel like she's complete and all this kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, it's kind of like an origin-ish story.
Totally, yeah.
And so it's like, okay, yeah, you could focus in a little more. It's just her and Aramaki and Bato and maybe one other dude, and then you have your story. You know, Kuze, okay, and then it's a little more focused. Instead of it's like, oh, we have all these other characters, and you're like, wait, what about those guys? What do they do? And like, oh, we have all these other aspects.
Like, what's going on? Yeah,
because even that scene that she goes to like the club, it's like that whole scene makes no sense almost.
I like couldn't figure out why she was there until she went to the basement.
And it doesn't make any sense until they go to that basement. And you're like, what?
And then like, why did those guys attack her?
Yeah.
How did you know she was a robot?
Yeah, do they know she's a cop? Like,
yeah, like, why was there a room that blocked all signals?
Yeah.
Like, it just looked like a normal room.
Yeah.
It was like pretty much part of the club.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, like you say, it's just like they could have done
so many questions.
And I don't know. They wanted to do something like recognizable, but it failed because I don't think it did well in the box office, and probably
there was a lot of controversy though attached to it as well, because Scarlett Johansson plays the main character, and people were like, it's whitewashing because she's supposed to be Japanese. Although I felt like they addressed that pretty well in the movie.
If you watch the movie, they address it 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, I didn't...
because they made her body.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I was like, these complaints are from people who haven't seen this movie yet.
Yeah. So, I don't know if that...
Yeah, maybe. I didn't really go in with that mindset.
It.
Yeah, I didn't really go in with that mindset. I was kind of like...
You went in ready to be outraged.
Yeah, no, I went in just being like, show me what you got. And like I said, it was just an unfortunate... Like, even in this adaptation, that scene with her diving...
Yeah.
It sort of looks good, if I recall, but it makes no sense in the story, whereas in the anime, which they lifted that straight from, it makes a lot of sense, and it's like this interlude moment with these two characters that have like a bond, whereas with these other two characters, they're the same characters, but you don't feel that bond.
No, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. They just it flopped for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like hate it, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't grab me.
Sure.
I was doing other things. I was on Instagram.
But similar to what I was saying with Full Metal Alchemist, would it make you want to watch more Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, I'd like to watch it now.
Like the source material?
Yeah, to see if it's good, which I assume it is better.
Yeah, but it's from like 20 some odd years ago, so it's definitely different. The original.
It honestly, it depends a little bit on the animation style, because I have a hard time getting behind some styles of animation. If it doesn't look good to me, I don't want to watch it.
I think it all still holds up, because there's been a few versions, of course, and like there's the newest one, Arise, is on Netflix, and then there's the original, and then they did a
I feel
show.
Like what Peter used to watch looked pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. It's all held up really well. It didn't have that same. It was like what is it? It didn't have like that 1980s like Robotech kind of style, where it was still kind of like it's more than that. It's better than that. And they had like early CG mix and stuff like that.
We watched the first episode of Full Metal Alchemist after we recorded it.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the animation style in that. It just looks too cartoony, I guess.
Yeah, kind of. But I guess that's from that era, right? Like
I know.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and all that kind of stuff like that. They all look kind of like that. The show is really good, though.
I don't mind that style, and I know anime is like obviously like it's a thing, but I don't mind it if it's a goofy show as much. But when it's serious, it bothers me a bit, because I know they did Hellsing, which you saw, right?
Which one?
The first one.
Yeah.
And that kind of has that serious tone in the animation through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then they remade it. And I think I've only watched 1 or 2 episodes, because they do that weird kawaii hearts in the eyes.
That's all in the manga.
I know it is.
And that's what I mean. When I read the manga, I was like, what am I reading? I thought this was like this dark, serious thing with like crazy vampire Hitler, and it was awesome. And then but always these interludes, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I just don't. I don't care for it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't handle it.
Unless it's in Oron, then I like it, right?
But that's the whole style.
It fits that style, right? Yes. So, I don't know. I just, sometimes I have...
with her gun, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I just have like a hard time...
Yeah, sometimes it can turn you off, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, does Ghost in the Shell do that?
No.
Good.
No.
Then I'll probably like it more.
It's closer. I was about to say it's kind of similar. It's kind of like with Spike and...
Oh, Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop, that's the one.
Oh yeah, that has great animation.
Great animation, but not that tone, but it's like...
Such a good anime.
Yeah, I think it's from that kind of era. So it's like, the animation is really good.
Cool. We got a bit off topic.
Yeah, we're talking Ghost in the Shell and Ex Machina.
Yeah. Ex Machina's anime was so bad it didn't even exist.
It doesn't even exist yet.
It was kawaii the whole time.
Yeah.
just like steam coming out of people's heads and big heart eyes, and that's it.
Well, and speaking of animation though, I'm curious about the level of either CG to practical that was in Ex Machina, because there's times, of course, where there's close-ups on Ava, and it's like, it looks like they've put a suit on her, totally fine. Yeah. But then there's some shots where like she still looks like really skinny. And I was like, okay, what's going on with the CG here? Like her arm, especially, like it always looks like it. Is it just because of it looks transparent, of course? Yeah. But it's like it also looks like it's really tiny. So.
Well, she might just be a tiny actress.
Well, she's not that big, but like I said, she's been in a few things. But like she looked.
Who is she? What's she from?
She was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I didn't see that.
Which was really good. She's the upgrade. She's coming up. She's the Lara Croft. She's the new Lara Croft.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I kind of want to see that.
Oh yeah.
I saw the trailer. It actually looks like Tomb Raider.
Oh, that's a good step.
Yeah, like
I haven't seen the trailer. So.
Well, you know how like the Angelina Jolie one? Yeah. They changed her outfit and a lot of stuff. I felt like with her, but this one looks I don't know, it just looks grittier.
I think they're trying to take the tone like the newest Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
Which have that grittier style.
But she wears a teal tank top in it.
Nice.
And like khaki shorts.
Yeah,
so
well, she does in the newer games too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but like that's like her look,
outfit,
right?
yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it might be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully it makes more sense than the last two Tomb Raiders, because those...
They made sense. They were just ridiculous.
They were ridiculous. I'm gonna drop a Hummer from a...
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, that's that actress. But Mike, like I was saying, how much was CG in there? Because not a limited budget and this and that, so...
I don't know.
It was really well done.
It was really well done. It was blended very well.
Yeah.
I think part of the thing with that movie too is that there's so much of that movie didn't need any CG at all.
Yeah.
Because it's just like two guys talking in a cement room.
Yeah. Or outside.
Yeah. Right? So, like, that's kind of cool too. Yeah. So, like, I guess any enhancements that they were going to make to the movie
was purely on Ava.
On Ava, so they could kind of... And I bet, like, because we get some exposition through security camera footage.
Yeah.
And so some of the other...
previous models
that we see are kind of... We see through, like, a grainy filter.
Yeah.
So that probably helped it a bit, too, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it was really well crafted.
Everything...
Oh, God, yeah.
It goes to the shell is some sort of CG, but they did use a lot of practicals as well. So
more than I thought, which I was...
Yeah, there's a really cool tested video where they talk about the practical effect of the...
Well, it's the Weta Workshop, which I'm a fan of their work, from Lord of the Rings and other films, of course. So.
But they did the geisha bots, and they did her suit.
Her skeleton and stuff like that. So. Yeah, there was more than I thought, but I think for me...
It still is like...
for me, because I'm a hater, it's purely in 3D when I was in theater, and I was like, okay, this better be some cool 3D. Like, this is an anime cyber world. Yeah. I want to see some cool 3D. There was no cool 3D.
Oh.
Yeah, I was so disappointed, because I was like, you're forcing me to see this in 3D. There better be some cool stuff. But there wasn't.
I don't think there's any cool 3D. You know, the only movie that I thought was cool in 3D was Hugo. And that's what I was going to say.
I was about to say, that's the only one.
They used it well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, like, too over the top. But now, anytime I see a movie in 3D, it just kind of looks like the depth. It's a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it's like, there's depth. And it's like, yeah, I know there's depth. And my brain tells me
that. Yeah, they figured it out from the lighting.
Yeah, I know that it doesn't end 2 feet. Like, they're on a beach. It doesn't just end.
Yeah. But, other than that, I've never really... Yeah. Although I didn't see Avatar in 3D.
That's fair.
Avatar was such a bad movie.
Yeah, I remember when I forced you to watch it, you were not a fan. Yeah. But like I said, I am very much...
He was a ghost in the shell, too.
Yeah, he was. He was. They all were. Yeah.
He's a ghost in the shell. His shell had a ghost.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why do they have to do that in movies?
It's funny, I don't even remember that, but maybe because I haven't seen it in such a while.
At least 80 times.
They mentioned it.
just like, am I a shell or am I a ghost?
And I think
you're both. You're a ghost in the shell.
If they had focused that on that aspect a little more, it could have been better, because the whole thing of giving her false memories, it's just like explained away, or like it's like she figures it out at the end, but it wasn't like as big of a reveal, because it's like you knew that.
Yeah. Well, that and like she didn't even know what her false memories were.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, it could have been more, like, because it's cool throughout the movie how she sees things. I like that aspect. She's
and
she
it
sees
kind of goes
pagoda,
digital. Yeah,
and it goes digital and disappears, and you're like, oh, that's kind of
cat.
The cat and other things, right? So you're like, oh, that's like, so they could have done more with that, where like all of a sudden her old memories are bleeding over into her real life, and then she can't tell where she is anymore.
This is another just little thing to pick at.
Sure.
So she has those two glitches, as she calls them, and goes to see the doctor, and the doctor like erases them.
Yeah.
And then she does the download from the geisha.
Yeah.
And then She has one more. We see one more. And then she goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, oh, it looks like you've had a bunch of glitches. And she's like, yeah, they've increased since I had the download. But we only see one. If they put in, like, two more, then it at least would have been more than, like, we had already seen, which was two, right? Like, I don't know. That was just a minor thing, but I'm like, fair. She hasn't had more. She only had one. It's improved.
Yeah.
You should download more shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. So, like, they could have taken the story, like, focused the story on other things, and maybe it could have been a better movie.
Yeah, it could have been a better movie.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It needs to be a better movie.
Yeah. But it was kind of...
Ex Machina was great.
Yeah.
So if people were like, Devin, which movie should I watch? Ex Machina or Ghost in the Shell? I'd be like, Ex Machina.
Yeah, there's no contest.
There's no contest.
Yeah, Ex Machina is a far better crafted movie.
Yeah, you'll actually feel things when you watch it.
Yeah.
But if you want, like, a movie to distract you from life, I guess Ghost in the Shell is okay.
Yeah. I feel like, as a fan of Ghost in the Shell, that seeking out the other versions would be a better option.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because we've talked a bit about it before, is that Scarlett Johansson, she's great as Black Widow, but they have this character they don't know what to do with. So like, okay, cool, you got this other character, badass female character, and then no, they failed.
Yeah, I know.
Because the Major is a badass character. She's a combat veteran, cool under pressure, shooting all the bad guys, taking tanks down.
Let's have her look scared all the time.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying it could have worked more as an origin story, but they could have framed it as that. It wasn't framed as like an origin story.
I don't know what it was supposed to be, but it failed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless they were trying to make a failure, then they succeeded.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. So, yeah, like it's again, I'm not a writer.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but it could have been written differently.
Yeah, I'd say if you have 2 hours, watch Ex Machina.
Absolutely.
If you have, like, 12 hours, watch Westworld.
Yeah. Throw in Ghost in the Shell somewhere.
And then Ghost in the Shell somewhere. Do you think of any other AI movies? I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I also wasn't trying to.
Yeah, I was trying to think a little bit earlier, but obviously...
I guess Pinocchio is kind of...
Yeah.
Because he's a magical puppet boy.
Well, and obviously there's the Westworld film from the 70s there. I think the AI is one of the best versions of Ex Machina, sorry, is the best version of an AI movie just because of its simplicity and just because it is something that's kind of near future that we already do that with AI now.
Yeah.
Is test them to see how much they can think.
When they're talking, the boss, Oscar Isaac says, like, he built the AI system based off how people do Google searches.
Basically, yeah. Which was interesting because I read that book about Google data and how researchers used it. And so a lot of what he says is actually a lot of what can be done with that kind of data.
That's cool, yeah.
So
Which book was that?
It's called, I think, Big Data. Usually
I think
Google
they talk
Analytics.
about it in The Power of Habit a little bit, too.
No, I don't know. This book was published in 2015. It's really new.
Yeah, yours is newer, but I think they talk about it a little bit in The Power of Habit. Yeah.
It's really good.
Because they're talking about advertising at some point, and they talk about that, yeah.
No, yeah, it's like all the different kind of things that can be done, and like how he got approached. How he got approached was because he created a map after Obama's election that showed all the districts that didn't vote Obama's way, and basically they called I think it's not a very nice term, but they call it like a racist map. And then when Trump won, his map aligns basically with with the Trump districts that flipped from Democrat to Republican. And so then people were like, how did you even predict this? And then he had Google data that showed and how he was able to use it and create this map. It's a really interesting book.
That is interesting, yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't really think of any other AI movies just because I think Ex Machina is so well crafted and well done. Like I said, Ghost in the Shell is there. And like that kind of theme in robotics, of course, has been in sci-fi a lot. That's what I was saying. Yeah. This is not like new territory, but it was just crafted really, really well. Yeah, and definitely. Very, very focused.
He took it and he just did it well.
I think it was just because it was, so focused. Whereas other movies, like, oh, there's a robot, and they're like, oh, but it's like, there's still some other adventure that they're on.
I guess there's like Chappie.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. Have you?
No, I haven't actually seen Chappie, yeah, unfortunately. But that's what I mean. There's like other things. But this was so focused and muted that it was all you could see and focus on.
Yeah, it hit you hard.
And very engaging.
Yeah. And then Ghost in the Shell did not.
No.
I would think we'll wrap it up.
Sure,
Unless there was anything else you wanted to cover.
Well, I think like I was just saying that as a fan, Ghost in the Shell, the anime, very worth seeking out. All versions of it, the Arise, the standalone complexes, all the movies, they're really good, and they do a really good job of exploring AI themes and what it means to be human and all that kind of stuff like that, but from a Japanese culture point of view, which is of course different from the Western ideas and stuff. So
For sure.
It's definitely worth checking out.
Cool.
Yeah.
So watch the anime, don't watch the movie.
Eventually watch the movie. When you're bored. Yeah.
Or if you're a fan of Scarlett Johansson.
Sure.
That's it.
Point being, they need to make a solo Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
They just don't know what to do, which doesn't make sense.
I know.
Or just Disney doesn't want to do it because they don't want to make another Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's probably it.
Because it has to be badass.
Yeah.
Because she's not a nice character. So.
Yeah, maybe they just don't want to taint the Adventures.
Yeah.
Adventures. What did I say? Adventures.
The Adventures?
The Venture Brothers.
Yeah. Well, them as well.
Yeah. All right, so if you want to find us online, our Instagram is at tome_of_uselessness. Our website is tomeofuselessness.com. We're on YouTube as Tome of Uselessness. It's pretty much what we're on everything as.
Yeah, make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.